You see, this is the problem when I'm not paying attention. I forget to put the background music on. I am a moron! There we go. Background music. No, let's put that one on instead. It's nicer. Anyway. Behave. Stupid DJ console. You're listening to Blue Please here on WoW Radio. The cynical Brit show, as some people like to call it. And nowadays, cynical British time. Fantastic. Right. Back to what we were doing. Shout-outs. Yes, some of you want some shout-outs. Therefore, you can have some shout-outs before I get on. It's a good way to fill time in the show and not actually have to do anything that requires any thought. Could I have a shout-out to Spen, Mum, Karen and Brother Andrew, please? They think I shouldn't listen to the show, but they may like it if you give them a shout-out. Shouldn't listen to the show? Oh, yeah, I'm corrupting your children. Don't be ridiculous. This is a quality show about geeky things. Anyway. See if there's anyone else asking for shout-outs. Gimbal says, dare you to say, Milton Kids! Again. Okay, there you go. Bagua says, make me famous and tell Tilf he is a noob from Bagua. No. Well, that's nice, isn't it? We'll not have insulting people over the air, please. That's just evil. Puppo says, I'm already uber famous and rich and I own 7 ranches. I think he's lying. But such, I want to shout out on my life won't be complete. There you go, shout out, your life is complete, you may now die. Thank you. Right, back to what I was saying in the first place. Before the break, we were talking about the WoW board game and the concept of fun. That interesting concept that no one can really define. Now, over the past few days, I've been having problems with my guild. Several members have said they were going to leave, and I left today due to various issues. No hard feelings towards most of the guild. A few people were just arseholes. It's that simple. And it made me wonder, when we're having conversation with a guy, one of the big players, you know, the best player in our guild, I would say, by far. He's a fantastic priest and very patient, and has done all of the stuff before MC so much that he's bored to death of the game, which is why he's playing alts. You know, he'll only log his priest in if it's absolutely necessary. Fair enough. He was the first one to get to 60 in our guild. He's been there for ages. And we still haven't successfully brought down Lucy, and that is frustrating him and a lot of the other players who have got to the stage now where, well, we can't go any further. Without MC, there's no way we can get better gear, and the game's about the fat loot. That's all it is, you know. We can't go and raid cities because Blizzard have decided, well, we'll put DKs into the game, which is a decision I've never quite understood at all. So that's the situation we're currently in. So I've now left the Dagspine Guild of the Halibuts. And it's quite a sad day for me. I didn't want to do that, but to be honest, it's a case of, well, if you want to try and push the guild forward and you're getting abuse for it, I'm saying, oh, you know, you're playing like a power gamer. Like me, a power gamer of all people. One of the last people in the guild to actually get to level 60. No, it's just silly. That's the way the game is designed at this point in time. And if you don't play it like that, well, you might as well not bother. Because that's as far as you're going to get. And when it comes to MMORPGs, progression is the key word. But, away from the sad times, onto the glad times. During this discussion with a few of my former guildies, we were talking about, well, what's wrong with WoW, what's right with WoW, and what's the point of WoW in the first place? Now, the point of WoW in the first place we can never get. You know, MMORPGs are a time sink. I think that's the only way you can really define them. You can't win. Therefore, there is no end objective. The objective is whatever you make it. And that's cool. Open-ended games like that are good in ways. You know, there are various ways in which a game like that is very good indeed. So, that was the point of the game. What we said, what's wrong with the game? And to answer that, you've got to say what's right with it. World of Warcraft seems to me like it's not the most innovative MMORPGs released. Let's be very clear on this right now. It is not very innovative. What it is, it's an evolution, not a revolution. It takes the elements of older MMORPGs and polishes them off. Makes them slick. They've created a game which a casual player can enjoy, except, obviously, Molten Core, unless they manage to get into a large guild. Now, I don't know if people on the American servers have as big a problem, because, you know, they've been playing for 6 months more than we have. I expect MC is old hat to them. European guilds are still having problems doing MC, simply because we haven't been playing as long as you lot have. Therefore, we haven't got the practicing, we haven't got the necessary loot or organisation to do it. We may not necessarily have the right classes to do the encounters. But that's where one of the things seem to be very odd, the way they've done that. That you need all these classes for Molten Core. You can't really do without them. There are some classes that, yes, you could maybe do without. But each class has a role. Now, I can see the benefit of that. It's to mean you do have to have a combined arms force. That's fair enough. And every class is made to feel important. Yeah, that's fine. But they seem to be stuck in a role, specifically. For Molten Core, each class has a role. They've got to stick to it or you wipe. That is an unfortunate state of affairs in places. I can see the reason. It's challenging. It's about discipline, and that's cool. But is it absolutely necessary in future content? And the reason for this is the way that mobs aggro and the way that the encounters are done. Now, take for example your average role-playing game, Dungeons and Dragons maybe, or any epic fantasy story. Take an epic fantasy story. A small group of heroes progresses to valiantly slay this beast. What doesn't happen is that 40 heroes go into a really hot place, send one of the guys up against the big mob, have him get the shit beaten out of him for 5 minutes. Sorry for the swearing there. And then get to the case of, well, okay, you've got to heal him. Okay, the mob's angry enough now. He's not seeing the rest of the army behind him, just this one guy. Hit him with everything you got. You don't see that in a role-playing story, a fantasy book, do you? No. This is the way that WoW has been structured. It's the way they've managed to introduce challenge into the game in a respect of strategy. The problem with that is that it's a case of execution, and once you've got the execution off, there is no challenge. They don't do unexpected things. The Lucifer encounter, for instance. You know, every 30 seconds, he's gonna do that nasty area of effect. You know his ads are going to go down to the bottom when they're pulled by a distracting shot. You know that the ads are going to use mind control. Lucifer never decides, oh, well, actually, I'm quite sick of chewing on the main tank now. I'm going to go and beat the snot out of the main group. No, if the aggro levels are high enough, he will never break. He will stay there unless the MT dies. So, it's a case of, well, okay, if you've got the strat right, you can execute. If you can execute, you can do it. Why do the mobs never have some degree of chaotic behaviour? What appears to be chaotic behaviour is not. It is perfectly explainable. Unless it's buggy, of course. So, I don't understand that. It's a case of, well, okay, the mob is going to follow a specific formula, and there is no random encounters, random things involved in it. You know what the mob's going to do before it does it. Okay, pull. Right. Aggro. Hit. Heal. Hit, heal, DPS. Basic principle. I think it would be nice, actually, to see mobs with artificial intelligence. Right now, they're very formulaic. I think if you want to challenge people, you can't keep going on the way Blackwing Lair is. Now, I've heard that some US guilds are now up to Nefarian, but Nefarian is proving to be ridiculously hard because he seems to spawn about 50 elite ads which wipe the whole group. And that's a bit crazy. Fair enough. If that's the way you want to design the instance, but can you continue to design instances in that manner? What's after Blackwing Lair? A 60-man instance? An 80-man instance? And what's it going to be? It's just going to be more complicated pulls. Because let's face it, if you're doing something above Blackwing Lair, the chances are you already have the Blackwing Lair gear. You are more powerful, therefore the mobs must scale to you. But they don't scale in intelligence, they scale in nastiness. And I think that's a bit of a shame, in some respects. It would be nice to see more random encounters. I like the idea of scripted encounters in some respects, but I don't like it in the fact that, well, once you know what's going to happen, you can execute, and it's simply a strat. You know, it's a formula. Now, I've said often over and over again that World of Warcraft is about formula. Always will be about formula, because that's just the way MMORPGs are. But I think an element of chaos would be nice to see introduced into a future instance, and allow at least some degree of rudimentary AI, and perhaps some kind of randomly generated attacks that people are not necessarily expecting and have to react to. When it comes to an MC encounter, you know what's going to happen. Mods are coded because they know what's going to happen. CT Raid Assist gives you warnings when stuff like this is going to happen. If Lucy drops his curse, etc. Sons of Flame spawn a Ragnaros. Tells you about that because it knows it's going to happen. So much that you can even program it into a program which is nothing more than a script and reacts to a specific stimuli. I would like to see that changed. I would like to see instances and future encounters have some kind of degree of artificial intelligence and some degree of randomness. If not AI, randomness works too. Have it do a little dice roll. I do this attack now. I'm going to randomly generate an attack. This attack turns half the raid into cows, and the rest bounce up to the ceiling. Whatever. It's all good. It's all fine, as long as it's different and challenging. Right. I think I've had quite enough of that for the moment. I'm going to come on to the idea of what the hell is going to be going on in respect to the progressive world, as it were. How is the world going to progress? Is it going to progress at all? The general policy of Blizzard in the whole respect of, well, we're not going to add progressive content and stuff that changes because people will miss out on it. I want to deal with that issue after the break. But you all listen to Blue Please here on WoW Radio. With myself, Total Biscuit. And I'm going to play a classic that everyone knows and everyone loves. The winner of WoW Idol 2005, ladies and gentlemen, is the Ganker. Enjoy.